Let's make sure that we like, we subscribe, and we comment on our YouTube channel, because our YouTube channel, well, it's kind of cool. It's very good. It is awesome. And frankly, when you got me and Tommy and Charlie and Jonathan and Chad and Clay and, all the guys, Ricky Cobb, it's just fantastic. And as you get ready for the Super Bowl, no one's going to give you more insightful knowledge than us. All right, we will continue. We have an ongoing feud. We got beef. We got NBA beef. Are you ready? Are you ready? Listen to this. Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley, they be beefing. Jimmy Butler, he's only paid, $40, $50 million a year to do what? Show up, you dumbass. Show up and play basketball. You were a kid from Texas that was a rodeo guy. You got a great story. You went to Marquette. You played your nutsack off at Marquette. You got drafted by the Bulls. You played great. And now you're a diva. Now you're a pain in the ass. Now you're a punk. That's all you are. Just like anybody working anywhere that doesn't want to show up at their job and wants to cause problems for people at that job. Look, people inside the Heat have known Jimmy Butler's a punk for a long time. Jimmy Butler's a pain in the ass. Jimmy Butler thinks Jimmy Butler is so good that Jimmy Butler doesn't need to follow the rules of a team that has shown itself. If you can get a group of guys to follow what the culture of the Heat is, you're going to be pretty successful. But Jimmy Butler's become a thing. You listen to this. You're in your 30s early. You're making more money than you can ever spend. You're living in South Beach. Everybody in the town knows you, loves you, wants you to do well. You've had uber success, but now you're just pissing it away because you're stupid. And you just can't overcome this. And I've talked about this before. You can't overcome arrogance and ignorance. Like, you can go somewhere else. This would be great. This would be awesome. I would love to see Miami trade his ass. No, not to Golden State. Nah, not to any contender. Put his ass in Sacramento. Put his ass in San Antonio. Put his ass in a lousy city, although I like San Antonio. Put his ass, Sacramento's perfect. Nah, that would make the Kings great. Sure it would. The dude's in South Beach. He's got models everywhere throwing themselves at him. Go to Sacramento where you got the big fat lady who's the head of the local school board throwing herself at you, and compare that to walking around South Beach. You just get tired of these guys. You get exhausted with these guys. Every day it's something. Jimmy Butler's, here's the saga. I'm going to go point by point with you. May 6, 2024, Butler. Here it is. Pat Riley blasts Butler at the end of season press conference, says if you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut. That's because Jimmy Butler was doing stupid Jimmy Butler stuff. Talking. All right? Last year, June 26th, Butler in the Heat failed to reach an extension prior to the season. January 2nd, this year, 2025, Butler requests a trade. Wants to get his joy back. Joy this. My joy. Oh, really? God, that's so cute. Oh, you get your joy back, you jackass. My joy. You know what? Tell that to the guy making nothing. Tell that to the guy out there busting his ass every day. I don't have my joy, really. Joy this. Maybe he was talking about his wife or girlfriend named Joy. I don't know. My joy. That resonates with nobody. If you ever want to steal victory or defeat from the jaws of victory, tell people about your damn joy. Tell my guys here that are riding in a freaking bus or a subway every day to get downtown New York to do this show. Tell the guy working a beat. Tell the sanitation guy. Tell the cop. Tell the guy teaching school every morning in some freaking idiotic public school that has no discipline and he's not allowed to about your joy. Joy my ass. I'm so tired of listening to these clowns. I'm so tired of listening to professional athletes. They are the most pampered human beings alive. They literally are the most pampered. You will never come across an athlete that isn't pampered. This is why I say all the time two things. One, don't ever go in business with a former Indiana basketball player that played basketball under Bob Knight. They will disappoint you every time. Because why? They're pampered. 2, a professional athlete needs 5 years post-playing to become a human being. Now, is that every professional athlete? Of course not, dummy. But 99.9% of professional athletes and even college stars, particularly ones being paid now, need 5 years before they become a human being. They think everybody is still catering to them. They think everybody cares about their dumbass story about the time they hit a game winner. Nobody gives a rat's ass. Nobody gives a rat's ass about any of it. We all got our lives to lead. We all got wives, kids. Hell, who knows what everybody's got? Maybe we got addictions. Maybe we've got some problems with our kids. Maybe we got problems with ourselves. But to look at some punk-ass basketball player making freaking not $1 million, not $10 million, about $30 million a year, bitching, whining, and moaning about his joy, you can suck it, Jimmy Butler. All of you, every single one of you. Here it is, part 2. After he requests a trade, he gets his dumbass suspended for 7 games for conduct detrimental to the team. Now, there are those of you out there that are going to defend Jimmy Butler. Yeah, you're just an idiot. I was in church on Sunday, and Aaron Brockett, the pastor at Traders Point, was like, you really shouldn't call people idiots. That was part of the sermon. All right, I'll try not to. On the 14th of this month, Butler reiterates his trade request in a face-to-face meeting with Pat Ryan. You think Pat Ryan is looking at Jimmy Butler and intimidated? Pat Ryan's looking at Jimmy Butler going, man, I've dealt with actual great players. You're a nice player in a bad era. I've dealt with Kareem and Magic and Worthy, Shaq and Kobe. What's wrong? You think I care about you? Think we give a damn about your dumbass? He shouldn't. But anyway, so Butler shows the team. On January 22nd, Butler shows the team, man. He shows them. He skips the team flight to Milwaukee. Those are his peeps. He played at Marquette. He gets suspended another 2 years. See, here's the deal. Whenever these guys do well in the NBA, whenever these guys do something, what do you hear? You hear college coaches standing up, ranting and raving about how great a man he is. You hear college coaches indirectly trying to take credit for Jimmy Butler and other NBA players' success while they were in college. I haven't heard nothing from anybody at Marquette. I think it was Buzz Williams, or maybe it was Crean that coached him. It was Buzz. I haven't heard a damn thing from Buzz Williams. Buzz Williams loves to take credit and be this great American. Yeah, his player's a pain in the prick. I haven't heard a word from him publicly. Hey, look, let Jimmy Butler go to the NBA Finals and you'll see his college coaches sitting front and center. Look at what we did. Look at how we grew his character. Yeah, you guys didn't do shit. How about that? And I don't hear from none of you. None of you. You always see it, right? Oh, man. Look at him. He played at Marquette. Look, there's Buzz Williams, a proud coach. He came to us, he was a wild kid out of Texas, but boy, I'll tell you what. Oh, shut up. This is what you raised. A dumbass. An entitled dipshit. That's what you raised. Jimmy Butler then, of course, the 27th, he's suspended after storming out of a morning shoot-around after being informed he would no longer be in the starting lineup going forward. That's how petulant children handle things. I don't get what I want. I'm going to storm out. Yeah, that's our guy, Jimmy Butler, the most ridiculous athlete currently out there. Now, I don't expect him to make a great transition, a 180, like Antonio Brown did, because there was a time when Antonio Brown, although more dangerous with the sex assault stuff or whatever was happening inside his house, he's made a 180. He's decided he's going to be funny guy, and we're all laughing with him, not at him. Jimmy Butler, I don't give a damn. You got to be an incredible Heat sycophant or an incredible Jimmy Butler. I've got every one of his jerseys since high school. Guy, to respect anything this dumbass is doing. You wouldn't say that to his face. You don't know me. I got no problem saying things to people's faces. Anyway, the Heat are suspending Butler without pay, effective immediately for an indefinite period to last no fewer than 5 games. The suspension is due to a continued pattern of disregard for team rules. How about that? Engaging in conduct detrimental to the team and intentionally withholding services. This includes walking out of a practice earlier today. That is the Heat on Jimmy Butler's latest suspension. Isn't that amazing? I mean, think about it. Some dudes are never happy. You know what? All you got to do, all your dumbass has to do is play basketball. That's it. Play basketball in a great city for a great organization with fantastic teammates. I know Duncan Robinson well, my son's college roommate. Duncan Robinson is one of the great dudes out there. I also know, not from Duncan, from a bunch of people in front offices, what a dumbass all of these clowns were during COVID in that hotel that they all had to stay with. I guarantee you that hotel has never recovered. But the level of stupid when the NBA players all had an all-player meeting is legendary in the circles of NBA folk. And this idiot is right in the middle of it. My opinion. Jesus, how stupid can you be? And it feels like now it's every day. See, all NBA players have a group around them. Their boys, their crew, their posse, whatever you want to call them. Hell, I had that. Everybody's got that plays at a high major level, and certainly everybody's got that when you're paid 30, 40, 50 million a year. And you live in, well, Miami. They all got it. So there's a bunch of dudes telling Jimmy Butler that he's doing smart stuff. Truth of the matter is, Jimmy Butler needs somebody like me. I remember telling Bob, no, you don't find somebody like me, you're going to be fired in 2 years. It took 3. 08, yeah, it took 2. Yeah, 08, 98, 99. Yeah, I guess it was the start of the third. It's pretty simple. Every single person needs somebody to tell them they're being a dumbass. Whether that's a father, whether that's a friend, whether that's a coach, a boss, a wife, a husband, whatever. Jimmy Butler obviously doesn't have that, so guess what he does? He acts like a dumb ass. You know, I'm tired of Michael Jordan. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I am. I'm tired of Michael Jordan and all the little Jordan heirs from 1990s. I've kind of had enough. Scottie Pippen, who's as old as me, I don't know what he's trying to do, but God bless him. Apparently, Scottie Pippen was the greatest of celebrities in the history of the NBA. During an appearance on the BD podcast with Patrick Bet David, Hall of Famer Scottie Pippen, opened up about his relationship with Michael Jordan and gave his take on where LeBron and MJ rank in the GOAT debate. Carmelo Anthony felt he had to step in to defend his friend LeBron. All right, here's Scottie Pippen on his friendship with MJ during the heyday.
Great teammate, but we just never were great friends.
Never, even when you guys played?
No.
When's the last time you and Michael spoke?
Right around the pandemic.
Oh, so it's been a minute since you.
Yeah.
Is that the text exchange when he shot you a text May of 2020 and he said, "Hey, Scottie, I heard you're upset. Let me know when you have a minute to speak." Is that the last time you guys spoke?
Something like that.
Something like that. And did you actually call him? Like, did you guys talk or did you just text him?
No, I think we ended up speaking briefly.
Did it end up being good, the conversation?
Yeah, I guess. Good and final.
That's what it was. Good and final. Because of you or because of him?
Yeah. I don't want to pick because of who. It's just
Got it.
Good and final.
That's some deep stuff. 60-year-old men. Good and final. All right. There you go, man. Great. That's some deep stuff. You know, I mean, 60-year-old men beefing about what and how I was used back in the day. Isaiah's involved in this, and I love Isaiah for going at Jordan because Isaiah has been disrespected, but Scottie has not. I mean, there are those that will say Scottie was made by Michael Jordan. I don't know, and I really don't care. Man, it's like 30 years ago. I had a former teammate of mine get mad at me because I had a player named Butch Carter come on my show and tell a story. Guy got mad. He said, "Why didn't you refute that?" I said, "I wasn't there, and it was 40 years ago. Who gives a shit?" Honest to God. Well, Carmelo had to step in. Thank God he did. Oh, man, really? No, thank God Carmelo Anthony had to step in. As far as LeBron goes, leave that man the F alone. Like, leave him the F alone. Scottie, like, pay homage to Magic, but leave them alone. They're the GOATs of our league, man. Those are the three. No, it's not. Are you out of your mind? If you don't put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Wilt Chamberlain in there, you're a damn fool. Whatever issues you have with Bron, leave that alone. Like, as a matter of fact, this is a situation that LeBron needs to see. Scottie, these guys are like little women in soap operas that I used to watch. This is like, this is like All My Children, Susan Lucci, beefing, Tad, beefing, Luke and Laura, beefing, Demi Moore in the middle of all of it. That's what this is. This is what this reminds me of. He needs to see Scottie. Like, enough is enough. Not even square up. For me, you got to have a real conversation. Like, what the is going on? Really? Hey, I want to have a conversation about what you said. You said Michael's the GOAT. Okay? I did. Well, why? I think he is. Well, I'm the GOAT. Okay, you think that. I think Michael's the GOAT. Well, that's not right. Okay. You see how stupid this stuff is? I love it, though, because these guys are all my age. And I look at it and I go, you know what? You got to amuse yourself. People ask me all the time, like, why are you on Twitter? I go, I'm bored. What do you want me to tell you? I used to be one of those 6 a.m. until midnight kind of working guys. I'm bored. If OutKick said, hey, Dan, let's do a college basketball show every night from 6 to 8, I'm in. I'm bored. So I get on Twitter, or I watch a movie, or I read a book. I'd rather be doing something. I go work out, I eat, whatever. These guys are just bored. Like, I don't need to be in the public eye. I don't care about being in the public. You're just bored. So what do? Hey, lady, bite me. You know what I mean? All right, Dan Orlovsky. Oh, boy. Dan Orlovsky made quite the statement, claiming that the Buffalo Bills are the most haunted team in the NFL and that quarterback Josh Allen might be the most haunted player in NFL history. All right, he's haunted. Okay, let's hear from Orlovsky.
Greeny, I think it's the most haunted organization. It might be the most haunted player in the history of the NFL. I mean, 4 straight Super Bowl losses 30-plus years ago. And now 4 straight losses to Patrick Mahomes when your quarterback plays just as good in all those games. The point differential in them is 5 points. We're talking about the difference between a career that we could categorize as an all-time great and just really good right now. I love Josh. No one, I don't think, in the media champions Josh more than me. He got the ball back, down 3, with a chance to go get it done.
And he threw that pass. That's what I'm saying.
Man, once idiots start chiming in, then I just tune it out. Yeah, everybody's haunted. Yeah. Hey, look, you can make the argument that they're just quite not good enough. I mean, I've said that about Purdue forever. Purdue's just not quite good enough to win a national championship. They're good. They're good in basketball. Just not quite good enough. For years, Ohio State football, not quite good enough. Always there. Always. Mahomes is always good enough. If he loses, it's just, something stupid happened. But he's always kind of, sort of good enough. Hey, Colin Cowherd, I like Colin Cowherd, always have, always will. He loves hot takes more than he loves the Eagles' offense against the Kansas City Chiefs defense, making the bold prediction that the Eagles may not see the red zone against the Chiefs in this Super Bowl matchup. Hey, look, I get it. You got to say stuff. I mean, it's 2 weeks to the Super Bowl. Chiefs defense is terrific, but I will put money on it. I'll give 5-1 odds to anybody that wants to go. I think they will get in the, quote, red zone. I think the red zone is the 20 in. I'll take that action today, tomorrow, the next day. Here's Cowherd.
This is for touchdowns. This is for 2-point conversions. What's wrong with it? It feels automatic. When the Eagles run it in the Super Bowl, Chiefs ain't going to be able to stop it. Just because they stop Buffalo's, they're not going to be able to stop this one.
They may not get into the red zone.
The Eagles might not? Get into the red zone.
All right.
Seriously?
I think Kansas City's defense, we now have to be honest. Lockdown corner, dominant defensive line, multiple edge defenders, hyper-athletic linebackers. I don't think people are giving Kansas City's defense the credit.
Really?
Oh, I think it's really good, and it's really good in big games.
I mean, the Bills scored 20.
You know, one of the things that I do is I like to gamble, and I have a friend, the Sack Man, made a lot of money last year, and he does this. He subscribes to 8 or 9 different people. He subscribes to 8 or 9 different people that do what Cowherd does every day. Gives you all these reasons why something is going to happen betting. And he goes into what we call the lab. And he gets his pay, and he studies every night, usually around 6. He studies all these guys, and he waits, makes his predictions about 6:45 when games start at 7. Cowherd, and then he fades them all. So let's say he has 10 sites that he pays attention to. 8 of them, which they did last night, all took the favorite in a bunch of games. He will fade those 8. Cowherd is the perfect fade guy because Cowherd gives you, well, they got a great corner. They got a, oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. And then you fade him and you win all day. If I told you how much my buddy made, you'd be stunned. He's banned from a few of these gambling sites, doing exactly what I just mentioned. Cowherd is the guy that sits there and he tells you all the reasons. Well, they got a great coin. All that doesn't matter because the other team's great too. So I will fade Cowherd on this, and I love Colin. I used to talk to him all the time when I was in Indy, but he is the ultimate fade guy. He's got all the little talking points that every media guy does. Well, they got an all-pro corner. Well, they got blah, 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 blah. And then he makes some outlandish statement. I'll take anything anybody wants. Anybody wants, anyhow, anyway, because I understand that there's a lot of ways to get in the red zone. And I don't know if there's been a game, maybe there has, in the Super Bowl where one or the two other team did not get in the red zone. I don't know. Maybe there has. Maybe there hasn't. I'll take that action. I got to tell my boy, hey, let's start fading Cowherd and see what happens because he is the ultimate. It's like he studies what everybody says and he puts it out there and then you fade him. And generally you're going to win. Guaranteed. All right, speaking of winning, Fox News is just crushing souls. Fox News is kicking everybody's ass. The best month Fox News ever had, I believe, was this past month. I believe with the election and all that, they were the best they've ever been. CNN's the other side. Jim Acosta, who apparently, is fighting like crazy not to have to do the midnight shift at CNN. He's officially out now. After 18 years of being on television, Jim Acosta, I got 2 words, he gone. He gone, and he helped spawn, Jim Acosta did. In fact, he might be the originator. He might be the face of the term fake news. Now, that's hard to do because you do have Joy Reid out there. And when you got Joy Reid out there, I don't know, Jim Acosta, if you can quite be, but you're on CNN, the home of fake news, and Jim Acosta is now out. How about that? Let's have a look. Let's see how this went. Here's some audio.
Your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
That's true. But they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. Right. These were people. This was an actual, it happened a few days ago. And
they're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian
investigation
because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible.
There you go. We got beef. We got presidential beef. Here is what the president had to say. Wow, really good news. Jim Acosta, one of the worst and most dishonest reporters in journalism. I mean, this is where I love Trump right here. You ready? A major sleazebag has been relegated by CNN fake news to the midnight hour. Death Valley because of extraordinary bad ratings and no talent. Word is he wants to quit, and that would be even better. Jim is a major loser who will fail no matter where he ends up. Good luck, Jim. Hey, how about this? The crowd tells Jim Acosta to go home. How about that? The crowd tells him. Listen to this.
For the man who wants to be the governor of South Carolina for another 4 years, that is Henry McMaster. And as you can hear behind me, Wolf, the crowd is very fired up. We have about a couple thousand people in this room so far. They are letting the press corps here know exactly how they feel about what we're doing here, Wolf. I can't hear you anymore.
Yeah.
What's that?
Tell the truth, Jim.
I will. You got it. I will.
Man, it's good to be Jim Acosta until it's not. And, you know, you don't mind getting that kind of, I don't know, you don't mind getting that kind of reaction like I would. 12,000 people at the Breslin Center chanted, "We hate Dakich." Hate? Really? Anyway, I get Acosta, bad guy. People don't like him. Now he's out. Here's a recent interview. Tim Burchett, who is Dylan's boy from Tennessee. He destroys Acosta on live TV. Here it is.
Is covered on CNN. What you're saying, this is not Fox, Congressman. You can't just spin a tail and pull the wool over people's eyes.
Yeah.
This is CNN. This is the news. We are asking you to come on and tell the truth.
And that's why more people are watching the Cartoon Network SpongeBob reruns right now, Jim.
Oh, man, that's pretty funny. You know what I mean? That's really, really funny.